Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So Zuffa Boxing number 3 is in the books, and the fans seem to be excited. They seem to be excited. There wasn't a lot of names on this. Number 1 was okay. Callum Walsh laid a dub. It wasn't anything to talk about. Number 2 did pretty good with Bokachek and Butayev, Hot Rod, Gvozdyk trading knockdowns. So you had some exciting fights, and El Rayo did his thing. But this one pretty much 3 fights, 3 KOs, very fast pace. It's not what you would call the elite of the elite, but Zuffa's getting off to a really good start. It's got fans talking. It's got fans wanting to see more. And that's really what it's all about. I've been skeptical about Zuffa. This is Frank Bay's instant reaction. I got to say, I'm willing. I want to see more. I really wasn't too keen on Dana White in a boxing league and, the lack of the uniforms and gloves. And, it's all cookie cutter corporate stuff, with everybody being uniform. With the black and white, the Zuffa gloves, everything Zuffa. And I see what Dana White is trying to do. But as far as the fights go, not any names that you're really going to recognize. In fact, I really didn't even recognize anybody but the main event, Charles Martin, F.A. Ajaba. We've all probably seen him. But the undercard guys, nobody really knew who they were. But, some highlight reel knockouts. And that's all you could really ask for. And that's what the fans pay for. We seen the Twitterson and Teofimo dud. The undercard had some decent fights with Carrington and Keyshawn and Ortiz was very lackluster. But, Zuffa's doing their thing. They know what they're doing. They know that, look, they don't got the names, but what they can do is they could put on good fights. The fans that will want to go and pay for again. That's really what it's about. I seen a lot of excitement in the crowd. That they're getting criticized for the lack of crowd at the Apex. That was going to be a problem. There's not a lot of atmosphere. But the fans that were in attendance, from what I seen from the sidelines, looking at the crowd after the knockouts, people were excited. This is what Dana White has wanted to do. He said, he doesn't want all that back foot bitch, all that hit and not be hit. This is the entertainment business. I've been stressing this. If you listen to my videos, if you listen to the things that I've done, I keep stressing this entertainment value. This is what you need to do. You need to compete for people's entertainment value dollar. There is a lot of competition. Boxing is still a niche sport. No matter how much you want to believe that it's a popular sport because you're in hardcore. But you always have to remember that it's all about the casuals. Wake up, boxing fans. This could be the move. This really could. They're signing more fighters every day. They have Joel Batalla in a title fight. Again, I was skeptical, but today started to make me be somewhat of a believer. I'm skeptical in nature, but I'm starting to believe. I'm starting to see the vision. And why wouldn't you? When you see exciting fights, look, regardless of the names, right? I'm a boxing hardcore like you, and yes, I want to see the names. But when these guys, they fight so infrequently, they're fighting 1 or 2 times a year. We're hearing Shakira Twitterson calling out whoever, Ryan Garcia, Conor Ben. He's not going after the best guy that he should be. Davina Hankey's calling out Xander Zayas, which is probably not going to happen. And this is what boxing fans are starting to pick up on. Like, this is fake. It's fake news. Keisha Davis making skits, the lamest thing you probably will ever see in your life. And the fans eat it up, but not real boxing fans. If you're a real boxing fan, you just want to get to the fights. And this is what Zuffa's bringing. No frills boxing. We want knockouts, we want action. If you're not about that action, then you might have to find somewhere else to go. Find someone else to buy your boring fights. If that's what it's about, I might be able to get behind this. It's going to take some time. But if they keep giving knockouts or entertainment, thrilling fights where the fighters are giving it their all, they're not just jab and grab or dance around, back foot, talk about they're the best. No, you're going to have to put up or shut up. You're going to have to entertain the fans. You're going to have a consistent schedule. This is something that we've actually been talking about for a while. Now, again, I'm not pushing full hardcore press for Dana White. But this product is starting to look good. It's not going to be caviar. It's not going to be, $1,000 ringside tickets. No, it's for the common man. That's what it seems like. But over time, you're gonna see bigger names come and probably better fights. And that's, as fans, that we should want. Better action-packed fights that we can tune into every week. I don't see why anybody would have a problem with that. Well, and there's always gonna be haters or people that are gonna have a problem with it, right? And you're talking about the boxing hipsters. You know, I was praising Zuffa after the fights. I was excited. I was like, wow, 3 fights, 3 knockouts. And, you know, go to social media or wherever you go and you post, and you still have people saying, oh, it was slop. It was no names. It's like, bro, these are the boxing hipsters that try to tell you that that's not boxing, that that's rock'em sock'em robots, that at the highest level, they don't go for the knockout, or you won't see knockouts. You're just going to see boxing. It's like, no. What you seen today was boxing. That's boxing. There are fighters with the mentality to go hurt, seek, and destroy. You know, it's a gladiator sport, but we've been convinced, we've been conned to believe in this kind of boring style, back foot, run around the ring, and get praise. You know, playing tag, jab and grab, and they've told us that that's boxing. But at the end of the day, it's about entertainment. I've been saying it, preaching it, yelling it. And you're going to have the last of the few boxing hipsters that want to kind of play this. So better, I know more than you. You don't know boxing. You don't understand what you're watching. But it looks like those days are coming to an end. You know, people's dollar doesn't go as far as anymore. So when they purchase something, when they watch something, you know, it's more valuable. They want to be entertained. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yes, you can have decent boxing matches, you can have style mixes and matches, but at the end of the day, people want to see blood and guts. And if Zuffa is going to give that to you every week with the schedule, then we might have to accept it. You know, we'll have to wait and remain to be seen what a league would look like. You know, the belt looks kind of weak. There's, you know, only 8 divisions, so it's gonna you know, come to fruition. But as far as right now, if this continues, you know, I don't expect a knockout every week and every match. And yes, at the highest levels, they may do more boxing, you know, but Murataya and Cruz was a great match, and that wasn't jab and grab, run around the ring and play tag. No, that was action packed. So, you know, there can be a mix of it, but right now Zuffa, they have a formula, and Frank Bay is behind it. I'm gonna tune in. I want to see what happens next week, even if I don't know the names. So when people say something like that, or you don't know the names, or it was slop, then, you know, you just look at them and you know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with these boxing hipsters, but they don't spend the money. They don't go to the fights. They don't buy the pay-per-views. You know, they're sitting in a cafe somewhere arguing about who plays tag the best. But as a real boxing fan, you enjoy it all. And as Frank Bay, as a boxing fan, I'm here to tell you guys, tune in. This is real boxing, and I'm going to keep watching. So, yeah, next card, we'll be back again for an instant reaction. So on that note, like, subscribe. Lord Chilaquiles, Boxing and Never Leave You. Frank Bay, giving you the hot boxing takes. And we'll see you on the next one. You know, leave the comments. Let me know. Peace.